Hi YouTube, we're here with the SIG 4-Star 20 EP. Just got done testing some props, and we were just going to do another quick modification to this airplane. It's a really great flying plane. My grandpa built it. Here he is, and here we are. He had passed away here a while back, and we used to enjoy doing this stuff together. It was really fun. This is one of the planes he had built, so I was just gonna get some special markings on the bottom to help with visibility. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by grabbing a little bit of just regular, this is just medical alcohol. It's cheaper than that isopropyl stuff, so it has maybe a little higher water content than the isopropyl alcohol. I'm not sure what percentage it is, but the electronics alcohol is what I mean. So the monocoat he used was, I think it was like a Hobby King variety, and the adhesive left this white markings. And so the only reason I care to clean this is mostly for good adhesion. And I want to try out a new product that I've seen a million times, and I finally went ahead and bought some. It's called wing tape, actually, and it does exactly what you'd expect it does, and that is to mark wings. Now, if you're anything like me, you kind of figure out how you want to do stuff, and then you do it that way until you die. So I'm going to do the same thing I always do. It's going to be relatively simple and to the point. So now that we've got that wiped down, I'm actually going to wipe down the tail surface just a little bit too. Some fresh alcohol here, and you'll understand why here in a minute. But it's just a real simple process. Get it clean. Apply the tape. Try to make it look easy, even if you do one on both sides. And the rationale here is just because the bottom is just plain yellow, it's possible that you'd have issues with orientation, although I've not had a big one with this. The plane is usually pretty visible. So of course you could use, other colors. They have a bunch of different colors of this. Here's part number if you order from Hobby King. Or you might be able to get it from Amazon on one of my links. I'm not sure. Probably just something like this will be pretty easy to come by in a variety of sources. So my experience with this type of tape is this is the sort of thing that like Horizon Hobby will put on the planes or whatever manufacturer you prefer. And so I'm just going to kind of do the same thing here. And I'm going to do a couple of these marks on the one wing, and I'm going to mimic some of that down on the tail just to differentiate the left and the right wing. Of course, they put this big ugly sticker on here. It's a little bit annoying, but not the end of the world. So I could go here and try to help that servo to disappear, but rather than fiddle with all that, I'm just going to put it on here straight. I'm going to go straight. Whoops. I'm going to go straight, and then I'm going to cut it right at the hinge point, or maybe pull it back just a little bit and then cut it. Super sticky stuff, goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. And I'm going to stop it right at the front. Because remember, I only want to mark one, whether it's the top or the bottom. I just want to do the one part. If you do both, it's going to be difficult to tell when you're flipped upside down or right side up, because it'll be symmetrical top to bottom. So now this stuff is pretty bubbly so far, but it's letting me kind of chase the bubbles out somewhat. Yeah, I got a lot of bubbles that time. I did a horrible job putting them on. But I don't know if you guys are Hawkeye fans. I'm sure there's probably like 10 of you out there in Iowa watching. Iowa Hawkeyes colors. Oh no, look at that. What the heck is that? Did it rip? Huh, no, it didn't. It's just that bad. Okay, well, we're learning about the quality. So I'm going to actually do two of these barks, and it is sticky as all get out. Oh my goodness. Better make sure you get it right the first time. That's all I'm going to say. So as you can see, I didn't get that very even, so that's going to look like crap. And then here in a minute, I have every intention of taping onto the aileron, but I'm hoping I have enough here to facilitate that. This bump is going to be tough to get out, so I'm going to just go along the bump. And then there's the big air pocket there now. I could probably take the iron to this and get those little air bubbles out, but I'm going to just try to work them out for now. So now I don't need that much extra length to finish the aileron portion, because I want the whole bottom of the surface to be marked. So it looks like I got enough here. I don't want to be flippant with this model or anything, but you know, it's a good plane, but this is the sort of thing you'll see from quite a distance. So while I do want it to look nice, I don't want to like overdo it or overthink it too much. So we'll take this knife, see if we can get it to start cutting, potentially getting a really nice clean cut. Or it'll just cut right through the monocoat and cause all sorts of grief. Yeah, it's cutting a little bit like I expected. Some of this stuff cuts really bad. That cut pretty good, actually. Would I cut it that way every time? Not unless I have to. I'm going to try to mimic that angle. I didn't do a very good job there. We'll try again. That's much better. And I'm trying to mimic the angle of the control surface here. Now this stuff is extremely light, which is perfect for a wing or any other part of an aircraft. Okay, so I'm just going to get in here and just walk that blade very gently across. So now it's not perfect, but it sure looks, it's very visible. One thing that concerns me is these bubbles are just so nasty. And I'm curious how hard it would be to get this stuff off. I'm just going to try to peel it off. This will be part of the video, you know, so you guys can make a decision based on how this stuff performs, whether or not you want to try it. And it comes off nice in one piece. Now, am I going to be able to reapply it is the next question. Well, so far so good. And I'm able to get those bumps and lines out really pretty easy. I was afraid it was going to split on me really bad, but it didn't. Except for right there. I got one little spot. See that, where it kind of split? So, it's not that big a deal. It's not perfect, but it'll work okay for what we're doing. Remember, this is just to give you some markings. Some people, I think they're called invasion stripes. If you do, well, like this P-51 has invasion stripes, the white and the black. Those are invasion stripes on that, what is that thing? Sea Fury. Sorry, guys. So, I don't know if these would qualify as invasion stripes because it's not on a warbird. But usually what I'll do is I'll do something like this on the main wing, and then I'll do something similar on the tail wing. But in this application, because I have the thinner tape, which is this other roll, I'll just use the thinner tape back here. And I'm not even going to mark the other side. So we'll just find the beginning, which I can't find. Then we're going to go ahead and, oh, there it is. Good, they put the label just right next to the edge. That was better. Okay, so we're going to just kind of go out about, what is that going to be, 3/4 of the way or so. Ooh, this stuff's quite a bit thinner. You see that? Almost looks like film. Like movie film. Okay, so this time I'm just going to go straight across. I'm going to cut a little bit of slack so I don't have to fight it. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Kind of give it a similar proportional gap. And I'm just going to be wasteful as all get out with this stuff. It is very inexpensive, like a couple bucks maybe. Okay. So now we can put this on my newest shop edition. It's just amazing all the tape I've been picking up lately. Just a lot of different applications for a lot of different types of tape. And this is going to look about 100 times better than what that looks like. Okay, so now I'm going to pull this out and away so it's nice and firm, keeping my finger out of the danger zone. I'm just going to walk the blade along the top of the control surface. Or, excuse me, not control surface in this case. That'd be the horizontal stabilizer. We'll see how good that looks. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it'll be good enough for what we're doing. And then back here we'll just do the exact same thing. You could probably spend about 10 times longer and get a little better result, but honestly I'm satisfied with the way it turned out. This is probably where I'm going to kick myself, is on this side, in this seam, because now I'm going to have to take, and every time I go fly this I'll have to fiddle with this, because this will want to undo, I bet. But again, I would love to be proven wrong on that. That'd be awesome if I was. So there you have it, guys. Just a real simple sporty stripe added to the wing. Took just a couple of minutes, and if a guy wanted to, he could come in here and suppose you want to extend this to fix your gigantic ugly screw up. I'm just going to cut a nice square edge. We'll see how it overlaps. Okay. And there you have it. That looks a little better, a little more even. Really matches the monocoat great. So we'll see how that looks up in the air. I suspect it's going to look really nice. Let's flip it over and make sure there's not any more that we can't live without. Because seeing how good that worked and how little weight we added makes me tempted to put a little more on here somewhere. And this kind of just matches the trim scheme of the aircraft. I don't know. I think we might have it. The top. And boy, this thing looks striking when it's up in the air. Speaking of striking, I wonder if that stuff would stay on the prop. Because I did get a red and a blue. I don't know. Maybe we'll come back to that. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. Come and see some more of this plane. This one holds a special place in my heart because my grandpa built it, and it's one of the few that my grandpa had built that we worked together on. And it's just a real blast to fly. Great plane, goes together well from all of his reports. And I felt like he had an easier time building this than some of the other planes, so he enjoyed building this one. And look at, it's got just a great wing, produces tons of lift. It's basically a 3D plane. If you put a more appropriately sized power plant in here, you could easily do some cool 3D stuff. But we'll see. Maybe with this 12.7 prop, I believe is what we put on here. Excuse me, 12.6 prop. I think we'll have better success. But for now, thanks for watching, guys.